I don't know, do you get to spend time with family and everything when you're down there for preseason?
Yeah, I do actually. My parents have been really lucky the past 6 or 7 years. All my teams just go down to Florida for preseason, so it's great for them. They get a leg up on all the other fans and families. They get to see training sessions and see games, and so it's nice. It's nice being around there. Although little bone to pick with Orlando City. They closed our scrimmage against them, so not even my parents could come. So that was a little bit of a bummer. But yeah, it's great. It's great being in Florida for the weather and for the family. So it's almost an extended off season for me to spend time with them, if you will.
How do you feel the team's coming along? Is it compared to last year?
Yeah, I think we're coming along kind of at a normal pace. Obviously, each week got a little bit better and a little bit sharper. Preseason's always kind of the same. It's always a grind. It's always a physical grind, but also mentally. It's a mental challenge to try to stay tuned in and stay on top of yourself to try to get the most out of yourself for every double session. Sometimes triple sessions, tough games, back-to-back games, recovering the right way, eating the right way, and then obviously getting to know the new guys. And so it's been, I think, fairly similar to last offseason in that there's a lot of turnover, maybe more so this offseason. But I think the core has remained the same, and that's always positive. I think the key difference for me from last year to this year is that the core group of leadership is the same, and is pushing everyone to try to be better and to try to hold each other a little bit more accountable. So the quality, it hasn't always been great in preseason, but that's to be expected. But I think as we've played our games and as we've gone forward, I think it's gotten better each and every week, and then culminating with a pretty decent performance against Orlando.
You said at the beginning of preseason that the team wasn't complete yet. You were still working through getting everybody together. Had added Katai and some of the rookies have come in.
Mm-hmm.
How close are you think to having a team that can compete for hardware in MLS?
We're close, but I don't think you can ever really be too sure until you play real games. I mean, training and preseason games, they only tell you so much. We've had a little bit of a weird preseason in terms of injuries. I mean, we've had a lot of regular guys pick up little minor injuries that have held them out for 1 week here, 2 weeks there. So we haven't had our full, I guess you could call it, first choice 11 on the field together at any one point in preseason. So for me to say that we're a contender or not a contender right now is just almost impossible. But what I will say is that I trust our front office. I trust our coaching staff to make the right decisions to try to move this club forward. I think the decisions they made last offseason have made us better, and now this offseason, that still remains to be seen. When you start the regular season, that's the real test. But I think we're still, if I'm being honest, maybe 1 or 2 players away from being a full completed team. You'd obviously have to ask the coaches or Nelson what the prognosis is on that. But for me, I never try to worry about who's not here. I try to worry about who is here. And right now, the group is positive, and the quality has to be raised, and I think it will as the season gets started.
I know he's only been with the team a couple of days, but what have you seen from Katai that you think he can add to the roster?
Yeah, he's just, as I like to call it, just a proper footballer. He's got a soccer brain. You can already tell from 4 or 5 days training with the guy. I mean, right away, at least for me, because I'm not super athletic, I always try to look for guys that think about the game before they step on the field and before they get running. So you can tell in little passing exercises, little possession drills, he's really clean on the ball. I don't think you go play in La Liga if you're not a really good player. So I like what I've seen so far from him. Obviously, he's getting acclimated, trying to show a little bit of his personality. He's a little quiet right now, but we'll try to bring him out of his shell. But I think he's going to be a huge piece for us, for sure.
Anything else, guys?
Thanks a lot.